with your boys.
Rice back-to-back bowl games for the first or just the third time in program history. Meanwhile, Texas State in their first bowl game ever as an FBS member. End over end kick from O'Kelly. That one will bounce around and take a favorable Texas State bounce down to around the 25-yard line. Texas State kind of came out of nowhere under their first-year head coach DJ Kinney to become bowl eligible. They finished up the year 7-5. Of course, this is a team that just moved up to the FBS in 2012 and 2022. Hired DJ Kinney, and boy, things have changed. And talk about hitting the portal. Only Deion Sanders hit it harder than DJ Kinney.
I mean, brand new football team and a big first game versus Baylor. Their first time winning a game versus a Power 5 team in school history. And you talk about all those transfer guys. TJ Finley didn't even get in until July. It's a lot of catching up, and amazing what this offense and this football team's been able to do this season.
Once they became bowl eligible, DJ Kinney promised the folks he'd jump into the San Marcos River, and that was him jumping in there with a cannonball. Oh, speaking of cannonball, this one might go back for a touchdown. A pick six for the Bobcats. Brian Holloway, 35 yards.
You and I have kids, but we'll never admit who our favorite child is. But the coaching staff clearly admitted this week that Brian Holloway is their favorite player on the football team. Shows up every single day ready to work. An absolute grinder. The guy that makes this defense tick this season does a great job undercutting the route over the middle of the field. Reads it. Is able to collect it and take it for a nice little pick six, the fifth-year senior.
Well, he is still dancing around on the sideline over there as the point after is up and good from Mason Shipley. It is 21-7. Brian Holloway.
And what he has meant to this football team, to this new coaching staff. I mean, anytime you take over a new team, and it's difficult. But when you have leadership, especially older leadership that buys in and listens to what's essentially being trying to implemented from a culture standpoint. He's been one of those guys that early on has bought in and obviously had a heck of a season and a great way to have a nice little pick six here in the bowl game.
First down and 10 for Rice. They will hand it off to Dean Connors. Dean with a couple of 100-yard games this year. Over 1,100 all-purpose yards. Was a junior out of Hawaii.
They got to get him more involved. His size, 6 foot 205, his ability not only to run the football between the tackles, but just get him the ball in space. Whether it's a swing route on the outside, something in the flat. Number 0, someone that could turn a negative play into a positive play. Just got to give him a little bit more daylight.
Flags are down. We'll hand it off to Connors again. We'll see what these flags are about. I mean, when they do give Connors the football, good things have happened, especially late. He's averaging over 8 yards a carry over the last 6 games. And for the year, it's over 6 yards a carry.
Number 11 lined up in the neutral zone on the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty, and we'll replay second down.
That's a couple of penalties against Devin Wright. Had the late hit earlier in the first quarter. And boy, yes, how do you not know you're offsides right there?
I don't know. Ask the Kansas City Chiefs. They didn't really know either a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, listen, we talked to Jonathan Packey, the defensive coordinator for Texas State, a couple days ago, and he was pretty confident that they had an advantage up front, and we've seen that clearly here in the first half. This defensive line being able to recreate the line of scrimmage, whether legally or illegally, throughout the ball game so far.
Second down and 3. Hand off to Connors, and he is hit and dropped there. And another big hit from Brian Holloway. He is kind of feeling the love here at SMU.
He's feeling the love because of what we just talked about. I mean, this defensive line is not allowing this offensive line to get off their double teams to be able to work to the second level. And when you can't get to the second level cleanly, you got linebackers who know that, hey, they're going to try to protect this quarterback. We got to get downhill and continue to make plays in the backfield for some TFLs.
Holloway had a huge game to wrap up the regular season when he had 15 total tackles, and 3.5 of those were behind the line of scrimmage against South Alabama. Pressure comes. Boy, A.J. Padgett just had to get rid of that in a hurry as the Bobcats were bringing the heat.
Well, they got to a bare front, so they're going to have a head-up nose 2-3 techniques and then bring a cross-dog blitz on top of that. And he sees it, he feels it. I mean, heck, the first play of the game, he gets jacked up by 2 players, and Chance May, number 40, does a great job on the blitz from that second level. They put pressure on the quarterback, and he just, listen, I've been in that position. You just want to get the ball out of your hands and pray that it's a completion on the outside.
Well, Coach Bloomberg said to Morgan, start this quarter, we got to protect him. That's where it starts. And now Rice will have to punt it away. Connor Hunt. It is a short, wobbly kick that will head into the Rice bench. Let's see where they end up spotting that one. That may come all the way back close to the 45-yard line by the time they stop. They will spot it at the 40. So that'll go as a 16-yard punt, and Texas State's offense back on the field with 12:40 to go here in the second quarter, and they're up 2 touchdowns. Don't forget, Friday, it's the Cotton Bowl, Missouri and Ohio State, 8 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN. Actually staying in the same hotel with the Tigers. Ran in the coach Eli Drinkwitz this afternoon, getting his steps in. You see Cody Schrader. I mean, talk about a guy who busted onto the scene.
It's a complete football team, and his work ethic from former walk-on guy that just continued to grind away to be one of the premier running backs in college football this season. But it's a really good team on both sides for the Missouri Tigers.
Speaking of another guy that kind of busted onto the scene, that one right there, Ismail Mahdi. Is that pass caught? Finley throws a dime. Joey Hobart on the sideline.
An incomplete pass.
They're going to say it's incomplete.
Receiver was out of bounds. 3rd down.
I'll tell you what.
Both ends was impressive.
TJ looking like Ben Roethlisberger, stepping up, shedding defenders, and then throwing a rocket to the outside. Great job elevating to make the catch, just unable to get that right foot in bounds. Showing you that you don't need gloves to make catches. Number 10 has been making some sweet ones here tonight.
On 3rd down, Finley throws on the run, and there'll be no flags. Boy, Finley looked like he was going to take off, stopped on a dime. Rayshawn DeVone's back there in coverage of Cole Wilson. It'll be incomplete. 4th down, and Rice gets the stop.
It's just, when you're that big and have big hands, it's like gripping a baseball. You could just grab with that right hand, turn, throw it like you're turning 2, but great coverage once again. That tight man-to-man coverage on the backside, no one able to get open. And you start to see some possible double moves with those guys sitting at the stick. See if you can take some shots down the field. I know they talked about some double posts against this quarter coverage at some point in the game.
Sean Fresh back to return this line drive punt. It'll hit. Boy, have some funny spin on it. Good job by Fresh just to get out of the way of that one. And was that touched? Rice had a player down there near the football. Texas State jumping on it. Boy, that was a dangerous play for sure. Peyton Stevenson was down there for Rice.
The receiving team recovered the ball. 1st out for Rice. Timeout for media.
Oh, what was he doing? Get out of there. Looked pretty good. I didn't get an invite.
I don't need an invite because I need to go on a diet after this past week. I need cookies.
1st down and 10 for Rice. They are stuck offensively. Just 45 yards of offense. 4-man rush by the Bobcats. Boy, and you can tell right now, it just seems like A.J. Padgett is got a quick trigger.
I don't even know if it's a quick trigger. It's just not confident. I mean, he picked the right receiver. It's a one-on-one off coverage on the outside. to Luke McCaffrey, and you just got to put it on the heart of your receiver, let him catch it in the open space and see if he can make someone miss. And right now you're just seeing a quarterback that's been hit a little bit this game, a little bit hesitant, obviously the pick six as well, and it's just the game's happening just a tad bit too fast for the young quarterback.
Boy, nowhere to run. Just swallowed up immediately. I mean, it's Juma Otoviano.
It doesn't help that there is absolutely zero run game right now for this offense. I mean, you put the quarterback into a bad situation. Great tackle by Ford Demet there coming in, and you don't want to continue to be in these third and long situations. I mean, imagine being this young quarterback, been hit a few times in this game, throwing a pick six, and once again, you're in a third and long situation going against this defense that's presented some pretty exotic fronts with some of this 3 down and bare looks.
Elijah Maharo, the tight end in motion, will set up on the right side of the line. Padgett going up top, looking for his guy to make a play. There's a flag, and was the catch made? The ball looked like it popped out at the end off of Landon Ransom-Geltz, and Caleb Ford Demet may be called for pass interference.
A great job by the offensive line, giving the quarterback enough time.
Pass interference. Defense number 2. 15 yards from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
And then it's one-on-one for Demet, the number 1 corner for this defense. And listen, 3 quick hits, get the ball out of your hands. Throw was a nice touch down the field, and you see the hand grabbing on the outside. And hey man, you get it when you can get it. For this offense right now, even if it's a pass interference, got to stay on the field.
Well, there's JT Daniels, who was their starting quarterback, having his best season in college football, but had to retire from playing because of concussions, and wants to get into coaching, and has started that trek maybe a little bit earlier than he anticipated as the handoff goes to Connors. He suffered a concussion against SMU, ironically enough, earlier in November. Really never played again. 6 years as a college football quarterback, came out as a 5-star, and of course had a couple of really impressive outings when he was at Georgia, especially in the COVID year.
I tell you what, man, that's one heck of a man cave he's going to have with those jerseys up on the wall. I mean, you know, walk down his basement, USC, Georgia, West Virginia, Rice.
He had a couple of 400-yard passing games this year, 432 against USF. They'll dump it off to the youngster Elijah Maharo. Stays on his feet. Inside the 45 down to the 43-yard line. A young man who didn't have a whole lot of time coming from Cal to get used to this offense, but coach is saying with each week getting better and better.
See what the penalty is, but that's a nice, throw out easy completions. Get to the big 6'4", 240-pounder. Let him make someone miss in the open field. One-on-one with Dan Foster.
Personal foul, number 91 on the defense. 15-yard penalty added on to the end of the run, and it's a first down.
Boy, that is a huge mistake coming from Tavian Coleman.
A couple penalties right now, allowing this offense to move into plus territory. Nice job kind of fading away as a quarterback, pressure in the face, kind of just falling backwards, and you just got to have the arm angle to get around the defender. And then great run after catch for number 7, and then all of a sudden you blink and you're inside the 30-yard line knocking on the red zone.
Just a 3rd catch this year for Maharo. A couple of tight ends set here. They'll hand it off to Connors, and he is chased down and dropped immediately. Ben Bell coming off the edge was the first one there.
Well, that's a zone read, and that's on the quarterback right there. You have to read that end man on the line of scrimmage. He comes down, you pull the football. You see his left shoulder turned. You pull it. You actually have a lead blocker. They're going to let him go. Have the tight end arc around to take the most dangerous on the second level. You would have had a lead blocker as the quarterback running down the field with a chance for not only a first down, it's an opportunity to get even further down in the red zone right there. That's when you got to, as an offensive coordinator, chalk up the call here, Shun, once again.
Boy, a loss of 3 on the play and another tackle behind the line for this Bobcat defense. They lead the country in that department. Padgett hit as he throws, lofts it in the air, and it was almost picked off. Trying to hit Luke McCaffrey, but almost interception on the back end by Sean Holton.
And you're going to get a hold offensively. I mean, this defensive line for Texas State and the linebacking core just tenacious.
Holding. Offense, number 52. 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
That's Nutter, the center. And this offense line has had their hands full here in the first half. And that's a tough block to ask, to be able to pull from the center position, to be able to get around to number 33, Ben Bell, who we've seen time and time again through the first half get after the quarterback. It's always a worry with those fancy protections, pulling offensive linemen, defensive ends getting upfield with that kind of speed. Just too much for them to handle and pushing them right now out of field goal range.
They got to go all the way down to the 18-yard line to pick up a first down. 4-man rush. Padgett. That pass is caught by Maharo, and he is hit and dropped at the 38-yard line by Brian Holloway. Another big hit by the senior veteran linebacker who has had a bunch of big plays here in the first half.
Now, he ain't messing around right now on the defensive side of the football. He's see ball, get ball, interceptions, pick six, some tackles in the backfield, and then that one right there, dissecting it, seeing the little tunnel screen on the inside, coming down to take down the tight end for a short gain. And this one you might see some chip protection, chip in route from both the running back and tight end to help the offensive line give their quarterback some time.
Trying to set up that screen, he can't do it. Connor dropped it. And he is walloped. And flags come in late. Alexander with a big hit. Khalil Alexander, the redshirt sophomore to Charlotte.
I think we're going to get no penalty to extend the drive. I don't think he told the ball dropped.
After the play is over, dead ball foul, personal foul number 22. It's a 15-yard penalty and it's an automatic first down.
I mean, just silly plays for this defense on this possession. Had the pass interference to extend the play on the first third down. Their late hit afterwards, and then once again, the second personal penalty afterwards. And I guess he just didn't know the ball was dropped.
Yeah, that's my thought, is that Connor, the ball hit the turf and popped up, and Connor, when he saw it, Connors had the ball in his hands. I mean, it was clearly after the ball had hit the turf, but I mean, it's one of those you feel kind of bad for Alexander, but Connors doesn't need to be hit after the ball is clearly incomplete. Keeps the drive alive. They'll hand it. Otoviano stays on his feet. Little second effort, gets him close to the 15.
One of the rare times we've seen a successful run play on first down, and I mean, this is the benefit of being able to stay on the field. Yes, the benefit of some defensive penalties, but still, like, we've yet to see this defense really
come near side. Maharo, the tight end, nice move. He's inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. It'll be first and goal for the Owls.
Well, it's been the Maharo drive, 3 times touching the football. Some key plays, just easy throws for the quarterback. Get the ball to the athletic tight end in space, and we've seen him make some guys miss in the open field one-on-one with a cornerback, and you don't want to tackle that 240-pound tight end, and great blocking on the outside. McCaffrey showing that not only catch the football and score touchdowns, but can also take care of some blockers down the field.
Garen Hargan in at fullback in a traditional I formation. They'll go under center with A.J. Padgett. Dean Connors, your tailback. Handoff right side. Connors. Rice with the touchdown from 3 yards out. Just power football.
Listen, it was not the sexiest of drives, couple penalties to extend it, but found a way to continue to move the football and absolutely love the block from the fullback Hargan, one-on-one, power, downhill, old school football. Give it to the big 205-pound back. Found a way to the end zone to make this a one-score game.
And the point after is up and good by Tim Horn. And that makes it a 7-point game. 21-14, 6:07 to go before halftime. Texas State has had some mental miscues that have kept drives alive. 6 penalties today for Texas State for 73 yards and a couple of really big personal fouls.
Yeah, we're going to go back and watch some of the miscues for this team. That was early on in the first quarter. Just play was clearly dead. Another one there. The ball bounced up. I mean, kind of outseen right there. You kind of feel for him with hitting it late. A PI that also extended the drive, 3rd and long situation on that last drive to really get that first down, to keep the ball moving, the chains moving for Rice. So 3 total, pass interference, 2 personal penalties on that previous drive, which aided Rice's ability to get in the end zone.
Now Rice will have to ask their defense to step up. Defense has really been solid the last 2 games for the Owls. Against Charlotte in their second to last game, gave up just 158 yards to the 49ers. Held them to 7 points in a must-win situation. And then it came down to the season finale against Florida Atlantic. They had to win it to become bowl eligible, and they held FAU to 279 yards. And this one will bounce out of bounds. So some free yardage thrown in there for Texas State.
Kick out of bounds. Ball will be placed at the 35, and it'll be a first down.
Let's go down to Morgan.
Well, guys, last December when Texas State was looking for their new head coach, it was a priority to find someone that could recruit Texas high school players. G.J. Kinney, a former Texas high school player himself and son of a former high school coach. It was basically a match made in heaven, and they have a mantra called Take Back Texas that actually started with student athletes on their announcements on social media. G.J. Kinney liked it and decided to adopt it. He adopted it for the program. They've got some cool swag. Check out these hats. Take Back Texas all over their shirts, their gear. And this is a team, guys, with over 90 players from the state of Texas, and even the majority of their coaches are from the Lone Star State as well. Certainly something that's become a foundation of this program.
Yeah, a win today would give them a FBS record 8 victories on the season, but still a long way to go. And by the way, they're going to Texas State did not want the football at the 35. I haven't seen this one very often. Most teams will love it at the 35, but they're going to ask Rice to re-kick.
I guess you want that team to run down the field once again, but I'm with you, man. Take the ball at the 35-yard line with that offense.
Ismail Mahdi does have a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown against Southern Miss earlier this year. Cole Wilson also has a 100-yard touchdown return. That came against South Alabama. Here's Mahdi. Ismail. Oh, and they lost 17 yards by not taking it at the 35.
You know what? I look at that as a quarterback as more passing yards. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, you look at the positive.
Yeah, last half.
You know, every time back in the day when the ball was put inside the 5-yard line, I was like, you know what? We're about to go on a 95-yard touchdown drive.
Why did that not shock me?
It shouldn't
from
shock
the SEC's all-time leading passer.
There's one. That's how we got there.
You would love to start at the 5-yard line
every time. It's more passing yards. That's how I viewed it. All right, we're going to get 95-yard score touchdown. Let's go.
6:01 to go before halftime. Finley back on at quarterback, 8 of 14, 93 yards. Mahdi trying to kick it to the near side and pick up a couple of yards.
Tell you what, the speed from 21, man, it's just unbelievable, and it's just so funny. They never would have thought that they would fall in love with a guy that's 5'9", 180 pounds in this offense, but it has worked out beautifully.
Hey, there's an argument he could be the best find of the transfer portal last year. He was playing at Houston Christian University. Matter of fact, Incarnate Word smoked them. They put up 70 in the first half on HCU, where Mahdi was playing. got in the transfer portal. They saw a little bit of him, but there wasn't a whole lot of tape on Monty, so they weren't sure what they got. About 2 or 3 games in, they realized this is our dude, and he has just stolen the show this year. Top 15 in the country in rushing. Oh, pass a little bit behind Cole Wilson. Lucky that one didn't get picked off as TJ Finley hits the deck. Pressure came from Jordan Campbell.
A great pressure Packers, 3rd and long situation. Gonna get some right up the middle. Number 6, DJ Arkansas. Athletic, is in those passing situations at the linebacking spot. Does a great job coming right up the gut for CJ to be a little bit inaccurate with the football. And all of a sudden, man, this game was really leaning towards Texas State and how dominant they were really on both sides of the football. You look up right now and you're gonna have a chance for some pretty good field position, only down a score, and some confidence offensively with what you're able to do that last possession, putting the ball in the end zone.
Josh Piercy hobbles off the sidelines. We'll keep an eye on him. He's one of their better defensive players. 10 our score.
10's been a little bit quiet here in the second quarter. Had a great touchdown early on in the game, and just the passing game has not been very explosive here in the second quarter. And you're like, man, you have to find a way to get 10 his touches here in the ball game if we're going to want to continue to move the ball down the field and have an opportunity to tie this game before halftime. Another player down for Texas State.
Tavian Coleman, who actually played in their first responder bowl last year when he was with Utah State. Oh, wow, we got a second. Speaking of injuries, let's go down to Morgan.
You guys, outside linebacker for Rice, Josh Piercy has been down on this medical table. He came off the field, got right on the table, and multiple Rice trainers taking a look at the inside of his left knee. He's had his hand covering his face for quite a while. He sat up and just started shaking his head. Certainly going to be keeping an eye on that one, and we'll report back with anything else I have.
Thanks, Morgan. And Piercy, obviously a big-time part of that defense, a 2-time captain, second on the team. He's had 25 quarterback pressures on the year. And there's another guy that's been important to his side of the ball as well. It's Tavian Coleman. Kind of hobbles a little bit over to that Bobcat sideline. A starter at the nose at a Humble High School in Humble, Texas. Tell you what, if you're Rice right now, you can take some time off this clock. You're only down a touchdown, and you have not played very well offensively at all in this game.
Oh, and you get the ball and start the second half as well. So an opportunity to kind of hopefully milk this thing away and get some points on the board for halftime.
Oh, here's Connors turning the corner. A lot of running room. First down inside the 30-yard line. Using some of that speed. Tripped up by Sean Holton, but a big gain for the Owls of 26 yards.
Well, that's a great job by Campbell on the outside blocking as well. But, man, we have not seen Connors be able to get that kind of space in this game. And you see number 7 flash as well. With beautiful blocking down the field, man. Anytime we see big plays down the field in the run game, you got to look to the receivers on the outside, making a difference. Those guys turning their legs so that number 0 can get down the field.
We'll run it with Connors again. Big hole to the 10, to the 5, and we are tied. How about the run from Dean Connors? His second touchdown today. And a point after away from making this a 21-21 game. A 28-yard run that time by Connors.
And we're finally starting to see that offensive line create some running lanes, allow their running backs to get to the second level. Those guys working the double teams. The tight ends are doing a great job as well, working their combinations to the second level. And you see him not really touched at all until he dives for the end zone to attempt to tie this ball game up. But, man, finally seeing, once again, blocks from the big 5 guys up front, tight ends getting involved, receivers getting involved in the second and third level. And for a game that kind of felt like Texas State was about to start rolling away, 2 possessions back-to-back for this offense where they marched the ball down the field. to tie it. They're going to take a look to see if he was down before getting or crossing the goal line.
Boy, you think about it. Texas State had a stop. Third down and long stop. Had a personal foul.
Well, they had a PI before that, too. Yeah.
Kept the drive alive. Rice would go in to score. Then they have the kickoff. As we take a look, did he get in? And
yes.
Certainly looks like he is into that end zone. But they had a kickoff out of bounds. Texas State, instead of taking it to 35, elected to have him re-kick. They lost 17 yards on the play, and it was 3 and out. And Rice took advantage and just scored again. Or we think he scored again.
I think he scored. I think it's going to be a quick review. Let's get a nice confirmed, not a stand, just a nice confirmed touchdown.
Our officiating crew out of Conference USA. As we've got a Sun Belt team in Texas State and a team out of the American in Rice in this Serve Pro First Responder Bowl.
Well, they said every time Connors touches the football, there's a tenacious mindset of I'm going to get in the end zone, and some great runs there.
Down stand.
We didn't get the confirmed we were looking for.
I don't know what was there not to say confirmed in that situation.
Either way,
leaves doubt to be debated if he was in or not when you say stands. Confirms lets all doubt be essentially shown the door.
Dean Connors with his second touchdown today. His second multi-rushing touchdown game of his career. He had 3 rushing touchdowns against Tulsa back in the middle of October. And here is the extra point to tie it up. And it is successful, albeit a little bit low.
A little bit low. Looked like my kick back in Pee Wee football, trying to kick it through the upright.
It worked, man. It counts as a point.
It went in there. That's all that matters.
Well, this Rice team trailed 21-7. They have now tied it up. Matter of fact, they had lost their last 42 games when they trailed by 14 or more points. Listen, I'm never giving up. I had Western Kentucky and Old Dominion earlier, or I guess last week in Charlotte. They were down 28-0. Western Kentucky was, and came back to win in overtime.
Your defense has gotten the job done here in the second part of the second quarter. Still time on the clock. You know this offense wants to go fast. You're able to continue to play the way you played on defense. Get the ball back one more time before halftime and then double up again and get the ball to start the second half. Momentum's a real thing, man. And right now it is definitely shifted over to the Rice football team here.
Back to return this kick, and this time he'll let it sail through the back of the end zone and out to the 25-yard line. Well, it's a special Monday Night Football edition on Saturday night from right here in Dallas. It is a huge NFC matchup, the Lions and the Cowboys. 8 p.m. on ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, and of course ESPN Deportes and ESPN Plus. A nice little run of NFL games for us here on ESPN and ABC.
And down the crunch time end of the season, man, but the Detroit Lions, what a story this season. Jared Goff and company, one of the better teams in all of the NFL.
TJ Finley, little pitch to Monty. He is hit and dropped after a gain of about a yard. Texas State, first 3 drives, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns. Next 3 drives, they've all been 3 and outs for 1 yard. They have -1 yard here in the second quarter. Rice has put together 103 yards.
Well, we talk about the difficulty for Rice running the football to start this football game and kind of have found their identity the past 2 drives. It's kind of been the reverse for Texas State, just inability to really create any explosiveness through the run game.
Finley stands in the pocket, going up top. Pass through the hands, but a flag comes out. They're going to call pass interference. They were trying to hit Joey Hobart. Looked like Davian Hook was over there in coverage. Boy, it's TJ Finley.
Before the ball was in the air, holding on the defense, number 29. It's a 10-yard penalty, and it's an automatic first out. Thank you.
One-on-one man coverage, inside slot to your best receiver, and we've seen him make some pretty amazing catches this season. There's one just out of reach, and we talk about the defenders, the second level throughout this first half. Those guys just kind of sitting on the sticks, and Homer right there just runs right by him and just has to grab to be able to prevent the big play down the field. And we'll see now if Texas State can take advantage of the ability to extend the drive with a defensive pass and interference for Rice.
TJ Finley had some time to make a throw. He's been a little bit under the gun here the last couple of possessions. Rice has been getting to the quarterback, and they do it again here. Finley has to spin out of trouble. Hits Hobart with it. He makes the catch around the 44-yard line.
Nice little move by Finley. He sees the pressure coming from the outside. Taylor coming from that slot and just gives him the okie doke spin around the outside to extend the play.
Handed off to Motti. Patient at the line of scrimmage. Sees a little seam. Cuts right through it. Brought down by Wyatt. That's a first down and a gain of 9.
That's the explosiveness we've come to see from Motti. That patience, let that guard wrap around and lead your front side, then see the hold and accelerate.
4-man rush. Finley has time to throw. Launches it far side and out of reach of everybody. Sean Fresh back there in coverage of Ashton Hawkins and another injured Rice player. For the second time, Blake Banish is down. Got hurt back in the first quarter and slow to get up here again. Boy, Blake is a big boy at 6'3", 330 pounds.
Well, we've seen a couple throws now from TJ on these go balls, one-on-one on the outside with Fresh and Hawkins, where the ball lands out of bounds. Got to be able to give those guys an opportunity to at least make an attempt on making the catch.
Finley this time has a wide open receiver. Pass is caught for a first down inside the 35 down to the 33-yard line. That's Ashton Hawkins with another reception. Davion Hook back there in coverage. That's a gain of 14 for the Bobcats.
Well, I like mixing it up on this drive. Instead of just trying to run the ball in the first and second down, then, hey, TJ, go save us on third down and get the completion to move the sticks. Throw the ball on first and second down. Mix it up a little bit. Hopefully loosen this defense up to open up some of these running games.
Finley, 10 out of 18 for 111 yards. On first down, looks to throw again. Quick throw near side over the head of Cole Wilson. Finley, by the way, just 2 completions away from setting the Texas State single season record for completions. Came in needing 3 more touchdown passes as well. But another Owl is down. Boy, they have been dropping here lately quite a bit. That one is Coleman Coco. Coleman, a grad transfer from Colgate. Led the team this year in sacks with 4. There's Piercy, the other defensive end that's still trying to shake it off, working on that left ankle.
Oh, it's tough. I mean, playing an offense like this, too, a lot of running, getting lined up the line of scrimmage. Legs start to wear on you a little bit. Haven't played a game in close to a month now.
Yeah, it's just
it's a weird thing about this calendar, and something that I know has been a big topic is